Alright, welcome back, and in this video we are going to be looking at setting up the ad for our campaign. Now, before you set up your ad, it's important that you set up your conversion tracking, okay, because you need to be able to track how effective your ad is and how many signups you are getting for your daily budget, whether it's $5 or $10 or whatever it may be. Okay, so it's very, very easy to do. I'm back in the Power Editor. I highly recommend that you use the Power Editor moving forward for all your campaigns. It's got some seriously powerful things that you can do. But the first thing we're going to do is click on conversion tracking. Okay, and then up at the top here, there is a button that says create conversion pixel. All right, and we're going to give this a name. So I'm going to say Go Green Sign Up. And we're going to select a category. I'm just going to say registration. Okay, so every time someone registers, this is going to sort of fire as a conversion. And then I'm going to click on Create Pixel. And then what it does is it gives me a script. Okay, now what you need to do is copy and paste the script in between the head tags of your thank you page. So that means every time someone gets to the thank you page after they've signed up for your freebie, that conversion pixel is going to fire and it is then going to be seen as a conversion. Okay, so it's very, very simple to do, but it's very, very important. So once this is done, I would copy and paste this into my thank you page, and then I'd close this box. Okay, you can see over here, Go Green Sign Up is unverified, and the only reason it's unverified is because I haven't actually put this onto a thank you page for anything just yet. Okay, so once you've done that, go to recent campaigns, and you're going to click on the campaign button and create a campaign. Okay, so we're going to give this one a name, and this is going to be Go Green List Building Test. Okay, you can give it a name, anything you want, it doesn't really matter, just so that you remember what it is and what exactly you're going to be running here. The next thing you need to do is you need to give your daily budget. So I'm going to say $10 here. You can say whatever you want, whatever you are comfortable with. I usually start on $10 a day and then kind of scale up accordingly once I get my demographics and once my campaign sort of starts to run and starts turning a profit. I kind of recommend you do $10 a day. $5 a day does work, but I have found my best results just to start with is $10 a day. Okay, now there's a strange sort of thing here that the Power Editor does with my campaign. I don't know if it's going to do this with yours. You need to check run my campaign continuously from the start date. Okay, so that's going to kind of run your campaign. If you do not check this box, when you try and upload your campaign and get it started, you're going to get an error, and it drove me crazy at the beginning until I kind of worked out that this is what Facebook is doing. So run my campaign continuously, and then you can set a start date. My Facebook is linked to Los Angeles time for some strange reason, so I just kind of need to work out what the time is in LA. It's usually a day before where I am at the moment, and just to make sure that my campaign kind of starts immediately when I do go live. Right, so once you've done that, you can then click on adverts. Now there's one thing you'll notice here, guys, that there's no save button. All right, so whatever changes you make, you can click away from that window, and those changes are going to remain. So I'm going to give this a name. I'm going to say Go Green Ad 1. And then we are going to start setting up the specifics. Now, the first thing we need to do is choose what type of advert, and it automatically defaults to adverts, and that's where you're going to keep it. We're not going to run a sponsored story. We're going to actually run an advert for a Facebook page using a Facebook post. All right, so I click on that, and this is my wife's business, Floral Conceptions. I've been running some ads for her, but what we need to do then is actually select our page. So that is going to be my Go Green page. So I'm just going to select that quickly. All right, so it has been selected over there, and then you need to select your post. Now you can see this is the dark post that I created in a previous video, and that's the one that we're going to be using, and this is what the post is going to look like. All right, And you can see now how this looks a little bit different from the previous posts that I showed you, where I would click on this image and it would actually open up the image. Now if they click on anywhere over here, it takes them directly to my offer. So please remember to do that. Okay. From there, we are going to select our tracking pixel, and it's the Go Green one, and scroll a little bit further down. Here, this is very important. Now it's going to ask you for placement. Okay, where would you like these ads to be seen? Now when I'm building a list, I like to only do newsfeed desktop only. Okay, newsfeed desktop only. I'm not interested in newsfeed for mobile. I don't want people looking at my page on their mobile phones. I'm only want them to be on their desktop. All right, and I don't like to use the right-hand column. I like to just put it straight in the newsfeed. I found that I get a lot better results when I do that. Okay, so once that is set up, you scroll back up, and then you go and choose your audience. Okay, so for this offer, I'm going to pretend that I'm doing United States. So we say everywhere, and we're going to do ages. So I'm going to do a little bit younger to a bit older. Let's see what happens there. We're going to say all people, all genders, males and women. Now, the reason I'm not too fussed about these particular demographics is a little bit later on, after a few days of your campaign, I'm going to show you how to really zero in on your demographic data, and then you're going to start kind of breaking out certain demographics, because there are going to be certain age groups, certain genders that click a lot more than others on your ads. Some people are just not interested in it, and there's no kind of real way of knowing what those genders and what those age groups are until you've run your campaign for a few days and you've got some data. What you can do is go look at media kits of people selling advertising in your niche. I find that's a good way to kind of base your demographics, but there's no sort of substitute for real hardcore live data that you are going to be collecting when you run your campaign. So I'm going to go as broad as possible for this particular example, and then we'll zero in a little bit later. Okay, then we're going to be looking for interests. Okay, so what I'll do here is I'm going to do sort of go green, that kind of stuff. Go green. Let's see what we get there. I'm going to say sustainable living, sustainability, sustainable living. I just want people who are interested in this kind of stuff. Okay, so we've got 2.4 million people here. Frugality, that might work because we're sort of saying save money. I think that's about enough now. So we've got 3 million people. The reach is enormous, and we're quite broad now, right? And we've zeroed in on a couple of targets, a couple of interests: sustainability, sustainable living, sustainable development, simple living, frugality, or grow green. Okay, so it's people who kind of like what we are going for here. So once you've done that, we're going to go to optimization and pricing. Now, what are we going to do? We are going to let Facebook optimize this for us. All right, I'm going to leave it exactly the way it is. Right, so once you've got your ad ready, you're going to go up to the top here, and I don't know if you can see there is an upload button, and you need to click on that upload button, and that is actually going to upload your campaign onto Facebook, and it will go live. I'm just going to click on upload now. I'm going to have to go and stop and test it, but it will just give you a good idea of what this particular campaign is going to look like. So if I go to my adverts manager, okay, so one thing to just bear in mind here is, where is this ad going to be shown on the newsfeed for people who are on desktop computers? And that's exactly what I'm trying to do here. So over the next few days, I will monitor this ad and see how effective it is and see how it does. All right, and from there, I'm going to then go and analyze the data, and then I'm going to start zeroing in on my target market and make this as tightly cut as possible. So in the next video, we will talk about testing and tracking, and we'll talk about how we can analyze this data to break it out a little bit better. So I'm going to stop this video here. If you have any questions, you know what to do. Leave a comment below or shoot us an email. I'll see you in the next video.